All right, to help us break all of this down, NBA analyst, champion, and former coach Avery Johnson. Erik Spoelstra was very calm, cool, and collected there after this win. Coach, put your coach hat on for us. How was he able to adapt and really make adjustments on the fly in that second half, particularly without his star Jimmy Butler, to get this huge win?
Well, the play-by-play or the one-on-one playbook against Boston, you got to slow down Jayson Tatum. All right, Jayson Tatum, 3 for 14 from the field, another high turnover night. And between Jayson Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Brown, they had 18 turnovers. So, and all those turnovers lead to loose balls, breakouts on fast breaks. It allows disruption on the offensive end for Boston. So you got to just give Miami credit. Man, it looked like 7 guys on the floor tonight. PJ Tucker was incredible. He's a champion. And then you get Kyle Lowry back the same way that the Boston Celtics got Marcus Smart back in game 2. Now you get Kyle Lowry back, his leadership, PJ Tucker's leadership, and they basically just neutralized and limited all of Jayson Tatum's production. And then when Jayson Tatum went out with the shoulder injury, they brought Jayson Tatum back, and basically he was ineffective. It almost seems like they should have left him out for a couple of more possessions because Boston had the momentum, but they brought him back in the game, and they couldn't really reignite what they had going when they had all of the momentum.
I want to ask you about Jayson Tatum, but first, still focusing on Miami. Bam Adebayo, team high 29 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. But you mentioned some of those other guys that had to step up. Do you think this team effort that Miami is showing, particularly in this one, can carry them through this series?
Oh, it definitely can. And that's one of the reasons why I have Miami winning in 7 games. This series is going to go back and forth. It seems like none of these teams, and we've seen it with a lot of the teams in the playoffs this year, nobody can really handle prosperity. When you get prosperous, and then you go from prosperity to poverty, and with a poor performance. And that's what's happening in this series. Miami dominates Boston in the first game. Boston comes back and dominates Miami in the second game. Then Miami comes back and basically, gets away. They won this game, it seems like, in the first quarter when they're up, by 21 points in the first quarter. So we'll see if Miami can come back and duplicate this performance. We'll see what Jimmy Butler's status is. But at the end of the day, the team that takes care of the basketball, they're going to have a chance to win. And if Boston is not making 3-point shots at a high enough rate, and if they're not efficient from the 3-point line, they're not going to have any success against this stout Miami defense.
It has really been a feast or famine kind of series, hasn't it? And Spoelstra said there is no update for Jimmy Butler. Had right knee inflammation, missed the second half. I want to circle back to Jayson Tatum. From a coach's perspective, can you explain, sort of break down the inconsistency? When he's hot, he is on fire, but tonight he only had 10.6 rebounds. What can contribute to performances like this?
Well, he wasn't really strong with the ball. When you're not strong with the ball and that primary defender can get deflections and then it subsequently leads to steals, then that's going to be problematic. And give Miami credit because, they're giving him different looks on defense. I always said coming into this series that Jayson Tatum and Brown, they would have to combine for over 60 points. And maybe if Jayson Tatum has 40 and Brown has 10 or vice versa, that's not going to bode well for the Celtics. They need a high level of production from both of those guys. Miami's going to live with Marcus Smart making a few shots. He made a couple of threes in game 2, and that's an aberration. He came back from his ankle situation along with Jayson Tatum. But again, in this series, the key is to slow down Jayson Tatum. If they can slow down Jayson Tatum, they'll take their chances with everybody else.
We want to give credit where credit is due here, Coach. One of your keys for Boston was limiting turnovers. And clearly, for some reason, they weren't listening. They did not take care of the ball 24 turnovers for 33 points. This could have been a much different game if Boston just took care of the ball.
Yeah, and as you can see, when you don't take care of the ball, look at the points off turnovers. But it's a different way of taking care of the ball. When I was in college, when I thought about, getting in a bad position and turning the ball over, I would throw the ball out of bounds. Those live ball turnovers that creates points off turnovers, that's a no. That's a no-win situation. So those 19 steals that Miami secured in this game, if they get 19 steals or 18 steals every game for the rest of this series is going to be over pretty quickly. So those live ball turnovers, you can't defend those. One of the things that a smart person said that I've been married to for 31 years, my wife, she said, hey, there's no coaching for turnovers. You got to take care of the ball.
That's a smart lady you got there. All right, so Miami taking a 2-1 lead, Game 4 on Monday. You told us you think Miami's going to advance, but do you see Boston getting another win in this series, or is there too much power and momentum on their side from here?
Well, it's like a roller coaster. Wherever you are, you can be in Disney or wherever you are at some park, Disney World, Disneyland, wherever you are, it's a roller coaster. So the way this series is played out, then Boston should come back and play a better Game 4 and win that game. But they're not going to be able to win Game 4 unless they have a better ball security. I would say if I'm Miami, I would really try to turn up the pressure on my defense, play the passing lanes, try to create some more uncertainty with Boston's defense, because if Miami can win Game 4, then this series is definitely over. But if Boston can come back and win Game 4, then they'll stay on track with my prediction of making it to a Game 7.
All right, well, we can't wait. Avery Johnson breaking down this Eastern Conference final game. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the schedule. Eastern Conference Series, Game 4 Monday at Boston, 8:30 tip. Game 5 back in Miami, that on Wednesday. If the Heat can take care of business, that could be it, but Games 6 and 7 are on the schedule if necessary.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.